This video is titled, We Talk About SNK's 90s as Hell Localizations. This seems like a fun one. Let's take a look. How you doing? Welcome to We're Doing Well.
Okay, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, so I'm just gonna come right out and say it. What was up with SNK's localization since, forever?
Dweebenheimer! Here's some of my Japanese localizations. They don't know what American culture is. They don't know how to speak, like, not fluent English, but slang-friendly English. So they make a bunch of random bullshit, and it's like, this is what Americans like, right? Sure, we'll put it in our video game.
Like, why were they even allowed to cook? From their very first smash hit, Ikari Warriors, in 1986.
SNK made Ikari Warriors? Really? Huh.
To their last few releases in the early 2000s, there's not a single game in SNK's rich retro history that doesn't have some type of quirk.
Wow, what a tough. Similar to the Ninja Gaiden ending of see you next! See you next what? What a tough what? Tell me, you shrimp fried this rice? Apartment complex. I find it quite simple. Based? Based on what? Tell me, an egg fried this rice? Wood-fired pizza? How's he gonna get a job now?
Or grammatical error. This is in stark contrast to their contemporaries such as Capcom or Namco, who, while having their own bad translation snafus throughout the 80s and 90s, at least weeded most of those out by the turn of the century.
Yeah, because Capcom, big company, they can afford to hire, like, better localization people.
Not SNK though, so sit back, relax, and get out your autocorrect, because we need to talk about SNK's insane localization.
Okay, I'm ready for this. Give me.
Since we need to establish a base here, we might as well start with the aforementioned arcade smash hit, Ikari Warriors. While most of this run and gun...
Maybe I'll play this sometime. I don't know. I feel like it's a part of SNK 30th. I do have SNK 30th anniversary collection. I could play that sometime. Because I know the other PS2 game I was wanting to play before, like, my adapter broke was Taito Legends. Like, I'd be down to do, like, SNK 30th. I have it on Steam. And I think this game's on there. You know, this one and the one that Athena comes with. I think it's called, like, Psycho Soldier or something. Which has a very annoying song that repeats throughout the entire game. It's unbearable. So I may need to, like, mute that shit and, like, put in my own music if I ever play that.
Bereft of text, upon saving the towering titan that is your CO, you are greeted with the following message. Congratulations! You have rescued Colonel Cook and received 1 million points.
Nice.
Continue to fight hard and bring freedom to the people you protect. Good luck and good hunting.
Congratulations, you have completed a great game.
Okay, well, this is fairly...
And proved the justice of our culture. Now go and rest our heroes.
Typical for 1986. Hell, this isn't even the first or...
Yeah, How did I memorize that entire thing? I was just spitballing.
Third time I've seen...
Like, you can go back in the VOD. I said the entire thing verbatim. What the fuck? How did I remember that?
Congratulations misspelled in a video game.
What?
But it also seems pretty literal and direct and is most likely what SNK's Japanese staff intended to get across.
I swear, I have like a secret power level. I beat Sephiroth and Xemnas in KH1. Like, I beat Chain of Memories just outright. I have some sort of, like, secret fucking power level that, like, I need to tap into.
The home version for the NES was quite stripped down from its arcade brother, but its ending has the same gung-ho spirit, but the text is distinctly different. You have accomplished the mission. You are the very prevailer that protect the right and justice.
Not the right, it's just protect right. Still grammatically incorrect, but still.
Express my sincere thanks to you. Take good rest. Okay, that's just as awkward and was clearly translated without a proofread, but at least everything is spelled correctly.
Yeah.
There's progress here. The arcade sequel, Victory Road, however, injected a bit more personality into the mix. You have fighted well to the last stage.
What?
All devils have gone to the world where they should
All the devils have gone to the... You mean all devils have gone to hell again? This isn't Doom, SNK. This is fucking Ikari Warriors 2 Victory Road or something.
stay. Thou who art selected, it is through your courage that the peaceful world is coming back. Your names will be written indelibly forever on everyone's hearts. While that's also straightforward, albeit strange, it feels like it was translated by someone completely different, and perhaps not on SNK's original Japanese staff. I doubt they would have gone with thou who art and indelibly, as that carries way more flourish than what you'd typically see in an 80s arcade game.
Maybe you just hired some dude from America and it's like, here, translate this. Or maybe they hired a different Japanese person who knew a little more of English and was like more fluent, but still wasn't like, what the fuck do I do?
Curious. Business doesn't really pick up, however, until 1991's
Fatal Fury.
Fatal Fury.
I beat this game single player. It took me so much fucking time to beat Geese, but I did it. Maybe someday we'll go through all the SNK Fatal Fury King of Fighters games, like single player. I could maybe do that, and then get to we can lead that up into like Gara City of the Wolves or something.
A game that was in development before.
You know, the new one that has fucking Ken and Chun-Li and Ronaldo? Oh, I don't know why Ronaldo would be a character in the game, but apparently he is.
Street Fighter 2 released and was actually headed up by former development staff.
Maybe we'll also do all the Street Fighters as well. I could probably get the 30th anniversary collection pretty easily, or just play all of them through Fightcade or something, but like, it'd be really funny to going through like all of the single player Street Fighter games is suffering.
Staff who worked on the original 1987 Street Fighter. The whole purpose of Fatal Fury was to push story and character motivations in a cinematic late 80s style.
There is also there's like co-op in the first Fatal Fury game. Kind of similar like how the new Street Fighters have dramatic battle, which I fucking love dramatic battle so much. Like, I wish more fighting games had like co-op fighting game campaign. We just have two guys beating the shit up like one guy in the middle. That would be really cool, but they never do that.
Which of course meant far more text. Every time you win a few matches, it cuts to the big bad, Geese Howard, who is monitoring your progress, and things start off pretty conservatively with, "He looks very strong." The following cutscene.
Yeah, a lot of the, from what I remember, a lot of the Fatal Fury text, especially from Geese, it's a little disjointed, yes, but it's a lot better than like the Ikari Warrior games you show. He may show like something else that like Geese says that may be like, what are you saying? What? What did you say?
And then goes on to say,
if you get that reference, you deserve a cookie.
"Hey, get the information from him." Now, I'm to assume here that Geese meant to say something along the lines of, "Hey, get me information on this guy," as in your chosen playable character. So, yeah, that's confusing. But things become more unhinged with, "I will never forgive you. You disrupt my plan of attack."
You could just add an ED at the end and you'd be fine. I will never forgive you. You just started my plan of attack. Just add an ED. You're good.
"I'll beat you like your father 10 years ago."
That seems fine as well. It's a little disjointed, yes, but it's a lot better. It's not as bad as Matt's trying to put it out as.
This seems like just the fastest, most literal translation that could have been done.
Sure, but it's not terrible. Like, I get what they're saying, right?
Been something
this isn't a congratulation thing from Ghostbusters.
Like, "You're ruining my plans. I'll beat you just like I beat your father 10 years ago." You are then...
I felt this a little more literal. I think the original translation was fine. You disrupted my plan of attack. Just add an ED and you're good.
hauled in front of Geese and thrown at his feet, where he exclaims, "Holy cow! You disturbed my plan again!"
Okay, Geese saying "holy cow" is kind of... That's a little, strange. It goes from holy cow to I will stain my hands with your blood.
After the final showdown, where Geese goes curse splat, we're then told February 16th, 1919.
1919.
October 16th, 1919?
There's Max.
Wait,
Love
what?
Max.
Fatal Fury doesn't just
We love Max in this house. October 6th, 1919. Gisao dies in the hospital 3 hours after falling from a high rise. Yeah, that's pretty... The 1919 thing obviously is kind of what the fuck, but like everything else seems fine.
1919? Wait, what?
Fatal Fury doesn't just represent SNK making a bold challenge to Capcom. It also kicked off a massive flurry of releases in the arcade and the home.
What the hell? Was that the original Samurai Showdown? That does look like Samurai Showdown. What is this game? Maybe I'll find it on Fightcade, but what? Sword combat? I'm a sucker for that, like I said before. Gimme.
With more and more questionable localizations. And if you thought Fatal Fury was already weird, its sister series, Art of Fighting, which released just a few months later, quickly turned the dial up to 11 and beyond. Art of Fighting 1 has just as, if not more story than Fatal Fury, but aside from Mr. Big saying you need to fin the karate dojo,
Forgot to add a D. Find the karate gym near the port. A strong fighter waits. Yeah, that's fine, except the D.
there's nothing
They forgot the D. I'll provide the D. Don't worry.
too egregious here.
Ooh.
Art of Fighting 2, however, which continues the story exactly from when the first one left off, is a whole other beast. Here's a few examples. Yes, the guy with the big beak was Ryo and Yuri's father. I am woman. Feel my kick and...
King's in this one. I thought King was a Fatal Fury character. She's in Art of Fighting. Oh, it's the same universe. But King is in this. Okay.
Bone, which wonderfully predates the kinky pleas of "Step on my throat, mommy" from the fans of today. Please, let me off easy this time. Not! That 90s as hell English slang must mean that by 1993 and 1994, SNK's US division was taking over the translation duties, or at least adding their own particular
that makes sense.
flavor. I mean, do you think the original intent was for Jack to say, "You really know how to frost my cake, sonny"?
I feel like one of the reasons why a lot of the localization is really jank in these type of games is because they had a very limited amount of space that they could show in like the little box. So they were like, what's the most like what's the shortest, most literal thing we can say? That? Do it. Sure. Because like if they had all the space they wanted, the translation would probably be a lot better, but it's not.
Eat my shoes, bug. Or King in a very, very, very out-of-pocket moment going, "I didn't come here to listen to your pickup lines, eunuch." This all climaxes
really good.
with Mr. Big having a war of words with the game's hero, Ryo Sakazaki. He
Is his name actually Big? Interesting.
inexplicably says, "Let's say I know which holes in which to put my pegs, pal."
Pegging before pegging was invented.
Like, no, I'm sorry. Somebody at SNK's US office must have been taking the piss here. There's no way that was the original dialogue. That's not even the weirdest of the weird innuendos, though. In the game's final cutscene, young Geese Howard is made aware of the
Okay, so okay, it is crossing over because that's Geese.
actions of one Jeff Bogard, who then orders his death by saying, "Take care of him. Rub him out." To which Geese's creepy butler replies, "Rub him off, got it." What
Rub him off.
the hell, SNK? The peak of all of this, whatever this is, comes in the form of Fatal Fury Special, which was basically the super turbo or ultimate version of Fatal Fury 2. Here, every single line of dialogue shared between every combination of...
Again, I feel like if they had a little more room on the banner, they probably would have put a U in, but they probably didn't have any room.
characters is just absolute clown shoes. Wubba wubba, I'm in the pin...
What are you, fucking Fozzie the Bear?
Today, what a tough. I think I used about 61.5% of my
Like Scoob, I'm using about 61.5% of my strength. Don't make me use 62%.
strength.
Eat my power pole, Pansy. A nice treat after a long separation.
Hey, I never scratched myself there. Stop it, imitating Melonhead. From today, just call me number 1. Sweet Buns is fine too.
What is he trying to like flirt? Oh, you can call me Sweet Buns anytime. Like what?
Die like your father, you pin-headed son of an ice cream maker. But no one is more consistent with this silly shit than Wolfgang Krauser. The Earl of Stroheim towers over the others.
Alright, there was a Fatal Fury movie. It seems like back in like the days like Street Fighter and Fatal Fury in the arcades, there was like the Street Fighter animated movie, there was the Fatal Fury animated movie. I think there was a sort of Mortal Kombat thing back, not the live action one. I think it was like an animated one maybe. Maybe I think like the USA Network show.
With such nonsense as blood is thick, but syrup's thicker. Think about it. Challenge me, you hot spunky kid. I hate spunk.
I think that's fine. I think that's a fine line. I don't think that's too like out of left field.
Like, what the shit? Krauser utters something similar to Lawrence Blood's What a Tough, by Krauser saying, What a Tough.
What a tough.
That fans have since directly translated from the original Japanese, which produces the far more accurate, naturally there seems to be no one who can satisfy me, which of course refers to the lack of everyone else's fighting skill and not an inappropriate lewd allusion. There's also
Kind of reminds you of like fuck's his name? Akuma. So, it kind of reminds me of Akuma's like thing where it's like he's trying to fight everyone and all of them just kind of suck and he's like, oh, no one can fucking satisfy my fighting hunger. Kind of similar to that.
also been other fan translations of the dialogue from SNK's many other fighters, which further strengthen the argument that
Sam's show, I heard it's
someone
so
was
good.
smoking something somewhere when it came to the localization. Given what these changes were, it really seems like that someone must have been working at SNK's US offices or was a Westerner living in Japan at the very least.
That fucking dude who's like, I am otaku. I do the Japanese.
In The Last Blade 2, which is the fucking GOAT by the way, Zantetsu, a very stoic character of few words, simply states, I can't kill the weak, in Japanese, but growls the almost identical but far less intimidating, I can't kill weenies. One theory as to why SNK's work in this area was so quirky, yeah, let's go with that, comes from a GameSpot piece from 2004 on the history of SNK.
Okay.
In it, it stated that since SNK was pumping out so many games during the 90s, the localization department had very little time to translate them all.
Yeah.
So the first pass was often the only one, with no one really paying
Yeah, they were pumping like a bunch of like Metal Slugs, Fatal Fury, Sam shows, King of Fighters. There was like fucking 5 King of Fighters in like 2 years.
attention to the finer points of the English language. My best educated guess here is that there are 1 or 2 staff members max who were in charge of localizing every single title, with one of them getting really cheeky with various in-jokes, innuendos, and general silliness. Oh, those big sillies. This, of course, then extended to the King
Yeah,
of Fighters
KOF,
series, which had
the best.
yearly entries and tons of characters, which resulted in lots of examples of fighters talking shit when it really didn't fit their personalities, such as Iori Yagami actually saying the words, gnarly, let's do it, dudes, to Ryo calling
What is he, fucking Michelangelo from TMNT?
people dweebenheimers, to K-Dash, arguably one of the coolest characters in the series, using such badass language as Piffle Paffle. Yes, Piffle Paffle. Is he a nanny from the 19th century? We also can't forget
Jesus
good old
Christ.
Samurai Showdown.
Fucking love Samurai Showdown. I need to play more fucking Samurai Showdown because sword combat.
especially the iconic intro from the second in the series. Long, long ago, there were a man who tried to make his skill ultimate. Because of his bloody life, it's no accident that he was involved in the Troubles. This to me just smacks of a rush translation that wasn't touched up in any way by US staff,
Yeah, that's
but
her.
the later Sam shows certainly were. You know, Hoper? Fuck off. Useless. Like,
They actually got away with saying fuck. Yeah, it's censored, but still fuck. Jesus Christ.
fighting a turd. Major disappointment, dweeb. A stone in my path is subject to my foot up its ass.
They actually got away with that?
Most baffling of all, SNK got through the first 3 games fine with the iconic victory screen when you've
Nice.
landed the last blow in a round, but for some reason in Sam Show 4, Amakusa's Revenge, it's prominently displayed as Victory. Like the L is even close to the R on the keyboard. Best of all, this wasn't even fixed for the home release on the Western Neo Geo. Because of course it wasn't. All of these issues continued throughout the 90s and into the 2000s.
Why do they have a filter over the game? I hate fucking game. This is clearly like a blend all the pixels together filter. Fucking hate that shit. Just give me my chunky pixels, goddammit.
From major releases
Like, I don't like scan lines unless it's like emulating a CRT for like stream purposes. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't like this stuff where it just kind of blends all the pixels together. I like my chunky fucking pixels.
down to handheld spin-offs. In SNK vs. Capcom,
Everyone says the Neo Geo Pocket Color is the fucking best, and I'm like, is it? It looks alright, I guess.
Match of the Millennium for the Neo Geo Pocket, there's such classics as Terry's God, excrement, I'm surrounded, and Ryu's I'll bust you like a nut.
Wow, is this where busting a nut comes from? From this fucking game?
Even Garo Mark of the Wolves wasn't safe from said eclectic style.
Are we gonna reference Kush Nude Butt in this? Are we gonna actually reference Kush Nude Butt? That's his goddamn name, Kush Nude Butt.
While the intro and most win quotes come out relatively unscathed, sub-boss Grant's cutaways are filled with just
I
strange
don't like this filter. Is this Matt McMuscle's doing, or is this just he got some footage from somewhere because he didn't want to fucking install Fightcade?
scenes like, oh God! Come to
True.
me, oh mighty On! Or the final boss, Kane, calling Rock Howard Geese's loin seed. Terry then
That is accurate, true. His seed.
calls Grant a weenie. Kane
Bust a Nut Seed? Was SNK ahead of its time with its fucking slang?
brings back the pin-headed insult. Just, I love how Mark of the Wolves is one of the best 2D fighters ever made, but
Yep.
SNK still made sure to mess up its localization. We have to end on the company's final game, or their final game of
SVC
the
Chaos.
2000s. And now it's the last game they made before their first bankruptcy, okay? Due to the arcade scene seeing a steep decline everywhere except Japan, and the untold millions they lost on the expensive Hyper Neo Geo hardware, the company was essentially closing its doors near the end of SVC Chaos.
SVC Chaos, that's on GOG. Or in Steam? I think it's on both? I'm not sure.
Development. But even though the game could have used more polish across the board, its localization was the classic SNK.
I mean, CVS2 is the best one out of like SNK and Capcom's like collaboration period, but like, I heard SVC Chaos is like kind of strange.
fans would come to love, but this time Capcom characters were in on the joke. If you thought the 1 or 2 guys that were on staff didn't really get the personalities of most SNK fighters, well, they really didn't get the Capcom ones. There's Akuma's milestone line: defeating you takes less effort than smacking a baby. Not that I'd ever do that. Or his underappreciated
Just try to defeat my murder wave, ya ponce.
Kim, who I thought was a consummate professional, gets exceedingly unprofessional with evil is as strong as good. Stop worrying, Boobala. I'll rehabilitate you. Boobala? What the? Wait, that's an
Boobala?
Addams Family thing? But nothing is more surreal than the following win quote from the Eternal Warrior Ryu.
Yeah.
Which simply
is
reads
it?
as, "You can't be finished. Stand up,
You
you
simp."
simp." I have to assume this was supposed
So, Bust a Nut, Seed, Simp. SNK was ahead of its fucking time with its slang. Jesus.
to be a short form of simpleton. Like, it has to be, right? It has to be. They couldn't have known. There are so many other examples of all of this. There's a ton of fighters from SNK I didn't even touch, like Savage Rain, Kazuna Encounter, Ninja Masters, all the world heroes. It's a never-ending dark hole of poor
I'd like to play all the SNK games on stream. That'd be really fun.
syntax and even poor spelling that hopefully I can plug up with my peg someday in a future video. So if you'd like me to perform that pegging, please let me know in the comments below or hit me up on my social media. Oh, and since it's fighting game adjacent,
So, yeah, SNK's localization was both kind of strange, but also kind of ahead of its time with some stuff. That's kind of neat. I kind of dig that.